Hello guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video we are going to be making a corset top with zipper instead of eyelets at the back. So first, on our paper here, we're just going to start by drafting or marking our nipple to nipple measurement, which is also our bust span, which is 4 inches. So I placed that on my bust line, on my under bust, and my waist line. So right here I'm showing you the length of my bust length, which is 11 inches. My under bust is 14 inches. My waist length is 18 inches, sorry, and my full length is 23 inches. So now I'm going to go ahead and mark my bust span on my full length, so which is 4 inches, and then we're going to go ahead and roll that in. So next we are going to be placing 1 inch on both sides for my under bust and my waist line. So now we are going to be connecting those lines to the hem of the top, which is the 23-inch mark. Next, we are going to get our curved ruler to connect the lines from the under bust to the bust point. Moving on, we are going to be marking our neckline. Is our neck depth, which is 8 inches, and then by the other side of the neck we are going to be marking 6.5 inches. So that's practically 5.5 inches if you minus the 1 inch shoulder slope. So I'm just going to be connecting those two lines together. You can make yours deeper than that, or if you want to bring it up a little bit, if you don't want to reveal any kind of cleavages, but I'm fine with this length. Next we are going to be, I'm just going to do that so that you can see the lines better. Next, we are going to be going up on the neckline, and we are also going to be placing our bust span measurement, which is 4 inches, and then I'm going to be connecting that 4 inch to the bust line, so we have a straight line, right? Next, we are going to be marking 1 inch on both sides of that line. And then we are going to be connecting those lines angled to the bust line. So this is what we call the bust dart. So it's for the bust tightening, so that the neckline around the bust is not loose, right? Next, we are going to be adding our body measurements. Right here I'm placing my bust measurement, which is 10 inches. And then I'm placing a 1 inch sewing allowance, and then for the darts we are going to be placing ½ inch. Then to the chest line, I'll also be placing 10 inches. for the chest line, and then 1 inch sewing allowance, and then for the darts we are going to be placing 1 inch. Now for our under bust, so for our under bust we have 7.5 inches for under bust. Then we're just going to go ahead and mark that, and then we'll be marking 1 inch sewing allowance, and then for the darts we have 1 inch on both sides, which makes it 2 inches. So we are going to be adding 2 inches for the darts, and then we'll be placing the same measurement on our waistline, which is also 7.5 inches, and then 1 inch sewing allowance and 2 inches for the darts. Next, I'm just going to be rolling in the body measurement. I'm just going to be rolling in that. And then when we are done with that, for the waistline, to get our curve right on the waistline, we are going by 1.5 inch. And then on that 1.5 inch, I'm just using my pencil to curve out the lines. And then I went ahead to use my curved ruler and marker to make the lines more visible, and then I'm going to go ahead and connect that line to my new waistline. So next, for the back, we also have our bust line, under bust and waistline. Now we are going to be adding our bust span for the back, which is 4 inches, right? So right here, for the length of the back, we are going to be making use of 21 inches, unlike our front, which is 23 inches. So we are just going to be marking 21 inches there. So our back is shorter than the front. And then I'm also going to be placing 21 inches also at the other end. And then I'll go ahead and roll that in. Next, I'm going to also be placing my bust span on my new back length now. So I'm going to be placing 4 inches, and then I'll also be marking 1 inch on both sides of that 4 inches. Now I will be moving up to the chest line, where I would also mark the 4 inches for the bust span, right? So I'll be marking 4 inches there, and then I will rule on the 4 inches line mark straight from the chest line to the hem of the back pattern, right? So I'm just going to roll that, and then next we'll be connecting the 1 inch on both sides up to the chest line. Moving on, for the back neckline, we are going to be marking 6.5 on the right side and 8 inches on the left side, same as we did for the front neckline. So we are having the same measurement for the back neckline and the front neckline. Now I'm going to go ahead and use my curved ruler and long ruler to roll those lines. Next, I'm going to be adding my body measurements, my sewing allowance and the dart allowance. So I'm just going to be placing that on my bust line, under bust, waistline and chest line, and also the new top length, right? So we're just going to be adding that. At the body measurement, don't forget to add your sewing allowance and the dart allowance too. So I'm just going to go ahead and roll in those lines. So right here I placed my front pattern on my back pattern so that I get the exact measurement on the front pattern and the back pattern. So I'm just making sure the arc is done well. Right here I already cut out my front piece and my back piece. So for the sleeve, right, so we are going to be doing the old slash and spread method, the regular slash and spread method. So I took a basic sleeve and I just cut it into 5 pieces, and then I'm just spreading it out on my fabric. So you can see what I'm doing here. It's pretty explanatory. So we're just going to go ahead and cut. Make sure you are cutting out, making space for your allowance. Make sure you're not cutting without allowance. So this is what the front piece is looking like, nice and clean, and then this is what the back piece is looking like. Now I'm going to go ahead and join the front pieces together, same as the back pieces together. This is what the sleeve is looking like. So for the front piece, this is what the front piece is looking like. I went ahead to add padding because I wouldn't be wearing bra with this top, right? So you can see how beautiful it looks. If you want me to show you a video on how to pad your top, please do let me know. I'll do a video for you. So this is how it's looking, nice and cute, really nice and sturdy. So that's what the padding. I didn't use a strong padding, I used a really light padding because I didn't want it to be protruding too much. I didn't want it to be stiff, right? So this is what the front piece is looking like. So now we are going to go ahead and add our boning, right? I'll be making use of Regilene boning on the bust area, right? You can see what I'm showing you. So I'll be using it from the top to that point, to the under bust point, and then for the rest of the lower end, we're going to be adding boning casing. So for the back, this is what the lining piece is looking like also. So once we are done with the boning channels and all, I'm going to go ahead and join the fronts together with the lining. Now for the back piece, I already joined the lining and added my boning on the inside. So we are going to be making use of zip instead of eyelet, as I made mention at the beginning of this tutorial. So we're just going to go ahead and add our zip the regular way, but then you are going to be making a boning channel right beside your zip. You're going to be making a boning channel for you're going to be making 2 boning channels after your zip, right? Right here, I already went ahead to add my zip and add the boning channel. So you can make use of 1 boning channel or 2 boning channel. Here I made use of 1 boning channel, so I'm showing you what the back looks like, right? So that way when you zip the zip line is a lot sturdy, just like when you have an eyelet. You know, when you have an eyelet, before and after the eyelet you're adding boning, but for the zip we're just going to be adding the boning after the zip line, right? So right here I'm going to be inserting my boning. So I'm using the plastic boning here. You can make use of Regilene boning, but Regilene boning bends a bit, so you want something sturdy for the back, since we are not going to be making use of eyelets. So after adding the boning to the boning channel, we're going to go ahead and iron down the boning so that it relaxes a lot better. So this is what it's looking like after ironing the boning down. So next we are going to be joining our front piece with our back piece, right sides facing each other. So this is what our front piece is looking like. I went ahead to join the lining piece to it, and then I've added my boning on the inside. So now we're going to be placing them right sides facing each other, and then be joining them on the side. So now this is what it's looking like after joining the tops on the side, right? So I'm just showing you what the piece is looking like. It's looking really neat and good. I decided to make a zip instead of an eyelet because comfort, you know. So it's nice having a corset with zipper, and it's really comfortable. So guys, we've come to the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I do hope you found this video really helpful. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.